Special thanks to our friends over at Best Buy Mobile who are hooking us up with a couple of Palm Pre Pluses, and I think even some Pixie Pluses as well, to give away over on Phone Dog's One Pod Bandit. So check that out. You can play, you can spin, you know the deal. I don't need to tell you about it anymore. Best Buy Mobile, no hassle pricing. You don't have to deal with a rebate. You go, you buy your phone, your rebate is automatic, it's instant. You don't have to mail something in, or in my case, forget to mail it in later and wait for your money to show up, or in my case, not show up. So that's pretty cool. No hassle pricing, rebate taken care of when you get the phone. Best Buy Mobile, thanks again to them for hooking us up with a couple of these to review and give away to you on the One Pod Band.
Also talk about hardware, let's look at the cameras real quick. iPhone 3GS, 3 megapixel camera, no flash, video capture. Nexus 1, 5 megapixel camera with a flash, video capture. Palm 3 megapixel camera with a flash with the Palm Pre or Pre Plus, 3 megapixel camera with a flash. Video capture is coming soon in the next WebOS update, but not out yet. As far as the cameras go, you know, it's almost kind of a toss-up. I think the nod probably goes to Nexus 1 for still imagery. For videos, even though the iPhone has lower resolution video capture than the Nexus 1, I think the iPhone actually captures slightly better video. But you know, I think it's pretty much a toss-up. And the megapixel thing, to me, I don't really care, because it's more about image quality. I rarely print photos from my cell phone. Usually I'm sending them off in, you know, send it off in a letter to yourself. What song is that? Oh, it'll come back to me later. Oh, Ricky, don't lose that number, Steely Dan. There, I just dated myself. All the kids out there are like, Steely who? Anyway, what I was trying to say is that with, you know, cell phone pictures, you know, I usually just share the photos electronically. I look at them in a computer, I send them in a SMS or MMS message or email or, you know, social networking site or Twitter or whatever. So the megapixel count, I personally don't care so much about. It's the image quality, it's how quickly the camera focuses and captures shots and reloads and all that kind of stuff. So I think the Nexus 1, you know, is probably, it's all pretty close. I think they're all fine. I don't think the flashes on the Nexus 1 or the Pre Plus actually do all that much good. The iPhone has, you know, when you touch to focus, you also get the white balance correction, which actually works a lot better than I thought it would at first. You know, one area where the Nexus 1 and the Pre have a big leg up on the iPhone, though, is when it comes to sharing your photos. So I'm going to take a picture here. Take a picture, sweetie. I ain't got time to wait. Who knows that song? You know that song? Anyway, we take a picture, share button, and boom, I get all these choices. And what's really cool about this on Android, this isn't a Nexus 1 thing specifically, but on Android, is that, and I think it's all Android, not just the 2.x releases. This is running 2.1, but you can correct me on that if I'm wrong, is that not only do you have the default sharing options that the phone comes with, so, you know, Bluetooth, Facebook, Gmail, whatever, but as I've installed apps that deal with photo sharing, they show up now in the share picture dialog box, which is really cool. So like Handsent SMS is something I installed, and I can share my picture directly through Handsent SMS if I want to, from the Gallery app, the camera app, as well as from the Handsent app, which is just, I think that's just really cool, the extendability of Android. Definitely very neat. The Pre Plus also handles photo sharing nicely. Let's find the camera app, and we'll take a picture. I'm covering it with my finger. Good job, Noah. Way to be professional. I'll take a picture of something off screen so it's more exciting for you. Look at that really exciting photo of accessories sitting on my desk, stuff that needs to be reviewed. And so if I want to do something with the photo, so I've got, again, you know, send a contact, set wallpaper, email, MMS, blah, blah, but then I can go upload, and then, you know, my Facebook account is in there, so I can upload straight to Facebook, which is kind of cool. iPhone OS 3.x, which is what we're on now, iPhone OS 3, you don't get all that. You hit the button, you just get email, MMS, contact wallpaper. You don't get any of the other sharing services, let alone the ability to integrate, new applications. So big leg up, little leg up there for the Pre-Plus and the WebOS operating system. Big leg up for Android, just in terms of flexibility and extendability with sharing photos and other media, across multiple means, which is very cool. So that kind of takes us, well, actually, before we get more into the operating system, talk a little bit more about media capabilities, multimedia stuff. We mentioned, the file storage space, the internal storage. The iPhone kind of is the best of the bunch there. So if you want to use your phone as a media player, all three are capable, but I think the iPhone has the leg up. I still think it's the best media player in their business because it's just so smooth and so integrated. And yeah, you have to use iTunes, and I know a lot of people don't like iTunes and the whole Apple ecosystem thing, and that, I guess, has to be part of the review. But on the other hand, neither Android or WebOS really has its own syncing solution. There are syncing solutions, but there is no official Android or WebOS desktop media, desktop to phone media syncing solution. And with iPhone there is, and it works. And for things that are wrong with it or are debatable about the whole ecosystem and memory leaks and stuff like that, I've personally found that it works pretty well. So I don't know. I think it's easy to use. But that's getting into computer software. Let's get back to the phones. So let's take a look at Pack Leader, one of Spymix's, just crazy good albums. If you don't know who Spymix is, go check it out, spymix.com. So we'll hit a song up there, and there's no cover art. Let's get some more. There's cover art. So there you go. There's the cover art. Hey, who's that guy? Anyway, it's a very smooth experience with the iPhone. I think with the iPod music player, and you can do your playlists and your videos, and you can make playlists on the go. I don't have any videos in there. Playlists on the go and all that stuff. And then obviously you can get into the whole iTunes ecosystem and all that. This is one of the few areas where iPhone handles multitasking out of the box. What I mean by that is you can jailbreak your phone if you want to get multitasking. We're not going to deal with that right now. So you can have the iPod running in the background, et cetera, et cetera. Again, not to get all into how the thing works, but just to say that I think it is kind of the most well thought out, consumer friendly media player option of the three devices. But, it's not as big of a gap as it used to be. Android's music player, I think, kind of leaves something to be desired. You do have integration with the Amazon MP3 store, as you do on the Palm Pre Plus, which is kind of nice. And, the music player does the job. It's not like it's terrible. We'll put on some Mos Def here.
One thing I want to assure them.
And, so it works, and it does what you want to do. You can do playlists, and you can do, everything else. Just, I don't know, it doesn't look as appealing to me as iPhone's does. But again, certainly, you can get the job done, but you're storing everything on micro SD card. And then on the Palm Pre Plus, Pixie Plus, and WebOS, kind of all the same. Again, 16 gigs of storage in here. I don't have any music on there right now. If I go to get my music, I can hook the phone up via USB and sync it that way. And it has, it has the online help, which is kind of nice. But we'll go back, and you can hook up to the Amazon MP3 store. And so if you want to purchase music to play on your phone, iPhone has the iTunes store, biggest music store in the world, I think, at this point, or close to it. Certainly the biggest online. And then the next one, and the Pre Plus, like I said, had the who's we? I'm the only one here. Like I said, have the Amazon MP3 store. I think when you look at these just visually, the Android experience is the least appealing, at least to me. But it's certainly usable. It's not like you can't scroll the top 100 albums. The Pre Plus just a little bit nicer, and WebOS in general, I just like the way they've kind of humanized the user interface, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then, the iTunes experience, I think, is kind of the most, sort of fleshed out. Obviously, it's a huge consumer thing, a huge source of revenue for Apple. So, again, there's people watching this saying, I hate Apple, and I'm not going to argue with you. Absolutely, I understand where you're coming from. But, you know, for me, I don't buy a lot of music from the iTunes store, but I still, you know, am able to put my music using the Apple iTunes app onto the iPhone and use it. So you can get around it that way if you want to. Again, they all work, you know. I give the edge to iPhone, but they all work. All of them have standard 3.5mm headphone jacks on top, and they all support stereo Bluetooth. With the iPhone, you do have that dock on the bottom, which opens up, you know, the opportunity for you to spend lots and lots of money on speakers and alarm clocks and car connectors and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, that is something for sure.